Hey everybody, this is Robbie, welcome back. You are watching Geek Level Asian, and I finally saw the first episode of Zenkaiger. Like always in America here, we had to wait a few days for the subtitles to be available, but they finally are, and I loved it. I'm gonna break this video up into 3 different sections. The first is gonna be what I thought about it overall, then it's gonna be things we learned, and then things that I thought were funny, because there's a lot of comedy and jokes in this first episode. Before we hop in, make sure to like this video so it gets put in front of more Power Rangers and Super Sentai fans just like yourself, because that's how the YouTube algorithm works. I've already announced the winner in my last video for the Funko Pop Ultra Zord, and I'm thinking of doing a 10,000 subscriber giveaway as well. What would you like to see, or what would you like to have if you won a giveaway? Let me know. So let's dive right in. Some general thoughts on the episode. One of the most interesting things that I found in this episode was that Zenkaiger opens up with some undertones or some subtext of prejudice. The Toji Tendo, which are basically the bad Kikinoids, when they attack Earth, somehow Kikaitopia and Earth get mixed together, and you find all these Kikinoids who are now on Earth, and they don't really know why, but at first everyone tries to live together, you know? The humans accept the Kikinoids, everyone is living peacefully, you even see little Kikinoid children and human children playing together, everything's fine. But then all of that changes once the Toji Tendo finally send down some Kikinoid robot henchmen to Earth. And now everyone is afraid of the Kikinoids, even the peaceful ones, because they're blanketing them together, associating them all together as evil Kikinoids. Sound familiar? Kikinoids and humans living together, mass hysteria! It isn't until later in the episode our hero, Kaito, who we're introduced to, asks Juron, the red Kikinoid that we met in this first episode, to join him in fighting the Toji Tendo. It's not until this moment that we see the relationship between humans and Kikinoids being repaired. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if this is the first time. I'm sure that this subject or subtext or these undertones of prejudice has come up in Super Sentai before, but for this one, while I was watching it, it was very clear. So some things that we learned, or things I should say where the picture has now been painted fully from the news that we already got that was leaked before the episode came out. Kaito's parents were the scientists who discovered that parallel worlds exist. And at this point, they're missing. We don't know what happened to them, really. And in this episode, him and his grandmother find the secret lab, not to be confused with the super comfy gamer chairs, secret lab sponsor me, underneath where his grandmother lives. And through their research in these parallel worlds, they're the ones who discovered that there are different Super Sentai teams that exist on all of these worlds. And it was through that inspiration that they created the GearTlingers, which is their henshin device. And that someone explains why the Sentai Gear have all the anniversary, we'll just call them the anniversary teams, or the past teams, or the other universe teams, or the other parallel world teams. That explains why their powers are in the gear, because his parents discovered them through their research. I mean, it doesn't give you a scientific answer, but it gives you at least some type of correlation. Do what you will with that information. Now, as for the Sentai Gears, we finally get to see what they are like in action. So in one of my previous videos leading up to the release of Zenkaiger, I was asking the question about, you know, since this is an anniversary series and we are already seeing the Sentai Gear with the older teams on them, are we gonna get full team, like in Gokaiger, are we gonna get like, oh, are they gonna be able to use their powers? Are they gonna be able to use their suits? It's kind of like that, but not exactly. So when they use a Sentai Gear from another team, what's cool is that team shows up as kind of like a hologram, and then they get to use a power from that team. So again, it's not like Bosco's trumpet where he can just like, you know, play a few notes and then the actual like ghost or dummy rangers, sentient rangers, whatever you want to call them, come out to fight. It's you get to use the power from that team. And in this episode, we see 2 of them. The first one Kaito uses, which is the Zyuohger Sentai Gear, and he gets the power of Zuo Eagle, and he's able to fly, which is pretty cool. Juron uses the Ninja Sentai Gear, and he basically gets the ability to hack and slash very fast and quickly, I guess like a ninja would. What we also learn about the Sentai Gear is how they're going to fight the giant monsters, like in every Super Sentai, they always turn giant. If you flip the Sentai Gear over and then use it that way, that will make you gigantic. And it also turns you into your mecha form. So we get to see Juron Tyranno, which is pretty cool looking. It looks kind of like the Kyuranger, Tyrannosaurus mecha. It also kind of looks like Tiramigo because it has the more actual Tyrannosaurus looking posture, because, you know, the Kyuranger Tyrannosaurus, he stood up like a person. And in this episode, we don't get to see Kaito flip over his Sentai Gear, so I wasn't sure at first how he was gonna fight the giant monsters, but then in the preview for episode 2, they show it. So once Jiran and Gaon use their flipped over Sentai Gear to become gigantic and turn into their mecha form, basically Kaito, as his size, his regular human size, he pilots those mecha, so that's what that's gonna be. The other thing that's interesting, and I said this about Dino Fury recently, I like how they're introducing our team episode to episode. So in this episode, yes, we got to see all of the other Kikinoids who are going to be part of our main team, but we didn't really get to be introduced to them. We didn't learn anything about them. In the next episode, in episode 2, it seems like it's going to be Gaon's episode. The only thing that we know about Majin right now is that she's just wandering around the neighborhood, but we do learn that Vroom is a janitor for the Toji Tendo. Now, the thing that's not explained, and I don't think there is an explanation for this is just part of the storytelling, it's very obvious that Jiran is supposed to look like Geki from Kyuranger. Not only is he red, but he's wearing Geki's shorts. I don't know why him as a Kikinoid looks like that, and I don't know how Kaito, when he found the secret lab under their home, I don't know how he knew to take the red Sentai Gear with him that has the Kyuranger ability in it. Maybe it's just coincidence. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain that later. Who knows? So now let's move on to things that I thought were funny, comical, or I got a kick out of. So now I've seen on TikTok that if you swipe your hair over from the side, which is what I do, it actually makes you look old. I didn't know this until now. And if you do a middle part, it actually makes you look young. That's I can imagine that, yes, because that's the haircut I had when I was like in 2nd grade. But bro, why this Kikinoid got a middle part? Does he have TikTok? One of the things that I thought was awesome, maybe not funny, but I thought it was awesome, is when Jiran basically surfs on an energy wave. It reminded me of when Goku does that in Dragon Ball Super. I said in one of my previous videos that they're trying to pass off Kaito as being this young man, but I feel like, I don't know how old the actor is, but he doesn't seem like the age that he's supposed to be portraying. I loved the henshin sequence, but something that I thought was funny about it is Kaito's like henshin pose looks like he's lifting up someone's shirt and tickling their belly. I like when Kaito asked his grandmother to fight the forces of evil with him, and we get to see, you know, the explosion henshin pose. I like what they did there. That was funny. And the last one is, I love how Jiran, before he's basically taught how to henshin, he just straight up smokes one of the henchmen and kills him. I thought that was hilarious. That was a good touch. So that's it, guys. That's what I took away from episode 1 of Zenkaiger. I'm super stoked about this series. I'm glad that it's out now, especially, I mean, everything that's going on in the world. Not only do we have Power Rangers Dino Fury, which is good, happening now at the same time as Zenkaiger, which is also good. Did you already see it? What did you think of it? Did you take away anything from it that maybe I missed, or did you have any opinions or theories that you'd like to share? Leave it down in the comments, as always. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with all of the Super Sentai, Power Rangers, Tokusatsu information. You could also follow me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok now, Snapchat, and Twitter. And that's it, everybody. I normally say, may the power protect you, but that is Power Rangers specific. Is there something maybe I should say that's more Super Sentai specific for Super Sentai videos? Give me some suggestions. I just realized that I went like this, guys. Real quick, I was raised by Italians, so yeah. So until I pick a new Super Sentai closing to the video, may the power protect you in any case.